Yes, thank you for the invitation. Thank you. And I've already learned one thing, that you're all experts on data spaces, and I'm not. But I was invited to talk a little bit about our ITS and CITS projects on the Brenner Motorway, so I'll give you a brief overview of what we are doing, and we are somehow linked to the Open Data Hub, so this is why I'm here. Yeah, not because I'm an expert on that. So, you might already know that the Brenner Motorway finds itself on a strategic position along one of the most important European transport corridors, the Scandinavian Mediterranean corridors. And this position is strategic, of course, but due to this strategical position, the Brenner Motorway is also subject to high volumes of traffic. We mainly have heavy-duty vehicles running along our right lane, and seasonally, like in these days, due to German holidays, we also have touristic traffic, and so it's an increasing trend as well. So it's not something we say, okay, it's something temporary, and then we can solve the problem. No, it's something that will increase, and so we have to face challenges in the future, and that's why we decided to avail ourselves of innovative technologies to face this situation. And our plans for the future are to build a sort of green digital corridor from Brenner to Modena for 314 kilometers, but actually it will be a green digital corridor also at cross-border level, because we are cooperating with Austria and Bavaria as well. And recently, we have submitted to the ministry, the Italian Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, our investment plan up to 2050 for 7.2 billion euros. And one of these, one of the investments is related to sustainability, innovation, digitization, so innovation, service, safety, of course, and so this is the main focus, one of the focuses of our investment plan. And the European Commission shows through the ITS European systems implemented within the framework of European projects some evidences, so that thanks to these ITS European projects, so these European projects contributed to the decrease in the number of accidents, reduction in average journey times, reduction in CO2 emissions, with a return on investments as well. So that's why we think, as Brenner Motorway, that it's important to participate to these European projects. And we have been participating the last year to 20, more or less 20 European projects focused on digitization. We started with ITS systems. They have been turned into CITS systems in the last years. And we are focused on ecological transition. Roberto was talking about the Brennerlec project. There is another project, the Life Alps project. It's also a local project, so with local partners, let's say, on hydrogen. So we are in projects like NAPCore, which might be interesting for you, as it's about national access points and data. But all these projects on CCAM are actually based on data. So we were the first Italian motorway to have put in place a CITS infrastructure. So we are able now to transmit messages to vehicles having the technology to receive these messages. And we have been, we were among the first motorway operators in Italy to have done it. And here are some of the CCAM projects we have been involved in. And the first one, so we started in 2011, 2014 with the Coopers and Drive C2X project, but actually the biggest one is the C-Roads project. There is a C-Roads platform at European level, and then many C-Roads pilots all over Europe. And the advantage of this project is that we all work on the same standards and specifications and on the same goals like interoperability, as I will show you later. So we put in place a complex system where we have roadside units, about 70 roadside units at the moment, but we also developed a virtual roadside unit which acts as gateway to the broker provided by the telco operator we are working with. And in this way, cars can receive information in their vehicles. The same information we presently send to the variable message signs are sent directly to vehicles. And so they receive the messages while they're entering the range of action of a roadside unit, but also between one roadside unit and the other, they're covered by the cellular network. This is the hybrid communication we put in place. So we work on a short-range communication with the ITS-G5 technology, and then on long-range communication, presently 4G, it could be 5G in the future. And this grants 100% coverage of all of the CITS communication. And if I go back here, so just to show you why we implemented these CITS services, even if it's something that will be implemented in the future, as there are some gaps, still some gaps about norms, so we cannot apply them just for testing. We can do this. We can apply these CITS systems along the motorway. But the way mobility will be in the future will allow to improve traffic flows, to have more regular traffic flows, to reduce the gaps between vehicles, and thus increasing the capacity, motorway capacity or road capacity in general, to reduce accidents and reduce the impact on the environment. We are currently implementing these day one services, a lot of services. They're actually, if you look at them, they're actually the same messages that we are displaying on variable message signs, but they take another channel, the channel to the CITS server, but they're the same messages. Then we have probe vehicle data, which is more, instead of infrastructure to vehicle communication, it's a vehicle to infrastructure communication. And then we also implemented the 1.5 services, and in particular the highway chauffeur functionality, thanks to the support of Stellantis, and truck platooning, thanks to the support of Iveco. They traveled 300,000 kilometers along our motorway up and down to test these services. And the important thing is interoperability, to grant interoperability, to grant a seamless driving, because it doesn't make any sense that I have a perfect system working on the Brenner Motorway, and then I go to Austria, or a driver goes to Austria, and the system doesn't work. So interoperability is a must, a goal for the Sea Roads project, but also in our case, in Italy, we have interoperability to face interoperability issues also at national level, because we have 24 motorway operators. It's not like in Austria where they just have ASFINAG. We have 24, so it's an issue that we have to face with other motorway operators as well. And a white paper was written within the framework of the Sea Roads Italy project, Sea Roads project, with the Car-to-Car consortium. And it describes how data exchange is provided, is performed, and according to standards. And this is very important because there is a cooperation between infrastructure operators and car manufacturers, so the OEMs, which have other requirements compared to our requirements. So the plans are to improve the infrastructure, and to add roadside units, even mobile roadside units. We have some mobile RSUs to implement use cases like winter management, for instance, or road operator in vehicles and interventions. And so the way is to keep on working on use cases. We are implementing another use case in tunnel, which is very important to grant continuity of the positioning of the signal, GPS signal, for the positioning of vehicles. So working in the Piedi Castello tunnel, and within the framework of the Podium project. So we have a lot of projects ongoing. And then we are about to build a digital infrastructure. So Roberto mentioned the mobility as a service concept. It is usually applied in a urban environment. We would like to apply it to motorway environment as well. So the idea is to have an informatic layer collecting data from third parties, so as to have then a multimodal and intermodal planner for users. And then the idea could be to have that the motorway station becomes an intermodal hub, and then the last mile is handled by other transport providers. so the idea is to participate into this in this European projects to contribute to the achievement of the targets of the European Commission. And so I talked more or less more about digitization, but we are involved in also in sustainability, in environmental sustainability. We are developing our net for the distribution of alternative fuels, LPG, CNG, LNG for trucks, also hydrogen and the electrical vehicle charging network. We promote intermodality. We are also the second railway operator in Italy, and we support companies working in the combined transport and non-accompanied transport. And then Roberto already mentioned the Brenner project, and which was concluded in 2021. Now we go on with the initiative Brenner After Life, after the LIFE project, and I will talk a little bit about that. So Roberto already mentioned the fact that we are cooperating together. These are the partners involved in the project, the two provinces, Cisma, and Gianluca Antonacci will talk after me about the project, and NOI, of course, and the University of Trento. And the idea at the basis of that is that, so we developed together a complex ITS systems, and we provide data to the Open Data Hub, which collects all data on traffic, weather, and air quality. These data are harmonized from the point of view of the structure and then sent to the elaboration chain developed by Cisma. And the output of this elaboration chain is a suggestion to the traffic control center to decrease speed. We are making it more automatic, the whole system. It is I simplified it very much, but it's more or less, I think Gianluca will go in detail about that. So the idea is that as the Brenner project was very successful, we decided to extend it geographically to have 150 kilometers stretch of speed reduction for safety purposes when there are high volumes of traffic, like in these days with the German holidays. And then to reduce the speed in five stretches instead of one. This was the one we did it on which we did it experimentally, and so we are now we have extended the we replicated this measure on a wider stretch, and there are also other motorways interested in doing that. So the idea is that so we want to keep making innovations, and one thing I wanted to say is really that the Brenner project gave us the opportunity to cooperate with other actors. Maybe we wouldn't have cooperated with them if it wasn't for the Brenner project, and this makes it easier to have to cooperate also in the future in other domains, because you already know people, you already know what they're doing, and I think this is the advantage. I think NOI Tech Park is doing it very, very well, not because I speak with many people working in the domain, and they always speak very positive about the NOI Tech Park. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.